Hello and welcome to the Hunt, Banish, Extract podcast, the podcast that will show you where that dirty little leprechaun hid the pot of gold. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, aka DJ. With me are all of my beautiful co-hosts today, Sleepy Weasel, aka Tyler.
I am wearing green, trust me.
Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
I be here too.
Finally. Sir Reednick, aka Colin.
Hello.
No Mortal Z, aka Aaron.
My underwear's green.
No, it's not.
The Patron Saint of 3 Stars, aka Rat329.
Does gangrene count?
And the special guest from last episode, I told you he'd be here, the beautiful Element 115.
Hello.
So it's going to be quite the shit show since we've got literally every single member for once, plus a special guest. This wasn't entirely planned, but it's also not entirely unplanned. So it's going to be sort of like one dog fighting for, or rather, 6 dogs fighting for one steak. So prepare for that.
6. I count 7.
7. Well, I can't count. I'm also not fit to host a podcast, but here we
It's
are.
because he's a dog.
You're the one that arranged the show, and we're like the chickens in the arena.
Moving on. So
He has chickens.
this has been one of the more controversial patches in the whole entire game, and now we've got a bunch of people bitching on Reddit. Shocker. But the biggest problem seems to be everybody running into Peacemaker. Is that what the trait is called? Or the
A peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper? Where you can res your teammates, your dead teammates, as if you had a bounty. What is everybody's thoughts?
Unless they didn't know that was a thing. Yeah.
I have not experienced it enough to actually have it be a problem.
I
I've
normally
had it-
die at the beginning of every fight anyhow, so
Normally we lose too fast to even matter. Well,
Except for today.
it's a huge problem in the sense that it really does kind of kill some balancing, whereas I think the other ones really had a sense of balance. Like there's the Berserker and then there's the Death Pact again.
Witness. Yeah.
Okay.
witness these nuts.
Oh,
Off to a great start. And so far, all anybody can ever talk about is Peacekeeper, the burning your bar to revive a teammate. I honestly am kind of sick of them trying to implement ways to continue fights without just regenning bars. I don't think a lot of people necessarily complained about the traits that gave bars back, but Red Skull revives have huge exploits, or just promote really rat behavior. No offense, Rat.
Ouch. I see how it is.
Offense
Well,
taken.
I guess if I'm being honest, with their just focusing on the revives, I think, in my opinion, it's probably reality. They had this event cooking up since they had the 3 cooked up, and this was just the next one in line.
Well, and I really think that they need to slow down in terms of how often they're releasing these new events, because I think they try to make too many balance changes too quickly, and they end up making a lot of great decisions that
And
are
a lot of
also
bad
really
ones.
piss poor. Yeah, because for example, I really like what they did with making the bosses take more melee damage, but I hate that they made hunters only retirable at level 50. Who's fucking retiring them at level
That
50
makes no
anyway?
sense.
Yeah.
so
I,
ridiculous.
I do because
That
I'm a
is-
I
prestige
agree with
whore.
that.
That's
I-
I think no,
It makes no sense. It really makes no fucking sense.
that's not part of the game.
I'm
That's
not going to
what
want to
makes the game.
retire a maxed out hunter.
I
I'm
do
not
every
either.
time I get one because I'm a prestige whore.
Well, I'm about to stop prestiging, so I'm almost to the end of the road. So this only hits people who are trying to prestige even harder.
Yeah.
know.
I agree.
Especially with the way the game's been going lately. I mean, right now it feels probably the best it has been in a while, at least to me.
Same.
With the release of these new guns, I don't know. These, I wouldn't say it's the new guns. I feel like that we finally hit a point to where it's not just solely sweaties. playing the
Yeah.
game, it's finally come back around to the way things kind of used to be.
Maybe. I don't know.
But maybe it might just be the event because we're only 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
And
the
I
2 week mark. Oh, sorry, DJ.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the 2 week mark is usually when things turn around. Ironically.
Yeah. Actually, that's kind of true. At least that's how it's been with the last past events, but probably because they keep pumping them out so
I
fast.
think all the events, if we're being honest, because
Yeah.
like you have that grind in the middle, and then you have the end where everyone just focuses and gets back on to finish what they can in the event. Basically, how any what are those games? The live service games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they decided to do the very brilliant idea because apparently Dolce FMJ wasn't enough cancer, so they went and added the Crown and King with flechette rounds, which isn't necessarily the most optimal build for it, but why the hell did you even give that gun flechette?
It's like
At all?
pumping out bleed rounds.
Don't get me started on that
consistently.
thing.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't going to be as useful as it is, but it's probably the best ammo for Crowning King right now.
It's got the most range and it's the most consistent. It takes about 2 hits for just body shots to kill anybody.
I would still argue the slugs are better, but for pressure, that thing alone is disgusting.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
you got to look at
Pressure's
it
a good
as
point.
you got to look at it as price. Like, okay, you're gonna buy the Crown and King already, and then you're gonna go get fucking slugs too. A lot of people don't want to spend that money, so the flechette adds in that little bit of extra firepower for no other reason other than they just could.
For sacrificing penetration, though, I would
Said penetration.
argue that's probably the only balancing thing for
I get
it.
that part, but like, I had a game not too long ago with, I think, 20 meters, maybe 25, and I took over 100 damage from the Crowning King.
That's pretty bonkers.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, and I don't think they've even learned their lesson because a lot of people have been criticizing them for putting in a lot of the story behind the battle pass and bullet types behind the battle pass, and that's still the case. I have a feeling that probably won't go away until the engine update anyway. But now, I feel like they're missing the mark a lot of the times because I feel like the level 50 skin is always less cool than the battle
The 25.
than the 25 for the first the premium
I
battle
agree.
pass.
The
I can
25
agree.
is way cooler than the 50,
think-
in my opinion.
I will
Honestly,
agree.
I could argue against that just aesthetically because like you have the different forms that are part of this game. You have the cowboy with the level 25 because the minute I saw him, Sheriff Hardin and him, that's some crazy good looking stuff. But then I saw the centipede and I was like, that's a nifty idea. That's good looking kind of dark skin. But that's why I could argue that like at least with this one, they have both elements, that cowboy, and they also have the dark, horror-esque.
See, and I feel like I'm the only one that kind of liked the centipede. Don't get me wrong.
I like it too.
I'm never
I
gonna
like
play
it.
as the centipede. There's too many other characters that I would rather play as, but I do
Mama
like
May.
the way the centipede. Yeah, Mama May, Hail Mary, and now I got a new plague, Dr. Mommy. Like this is perfect.
Anyways, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sorry.
I 1 second. I need to wipe off the bottom of my desk.
Bro.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so the centipede.
Well,
what
they're
were you
really-
saying?
They're really hitting the mark in the amount of skins that they add separately from the battle pass, the blood bond
Mhm.
skins.
Yeah.
I really think that there's a lot of good
That
ones
was
there.
a good
and
addition.
Oh,
Holy
this
shit,
event,
there was some good
this
ones,
event
yes.
has some of like the best skins ever I've ever
So
seen.
Yeah.
Like weapons and hunters. Like it's just such a good collection.
Well,
Based on what? Oh, go right ahead.
Sorry,
Right.
I was just gonna say on top of like having some of the best skins, for once an event, aside from like the lawful pact, it feels pretty much just like normal hunt for once.
Yeah, this event, in my opinion, I just because I know that our job is to be negative here, but like
Not
I at
necessarily.
least want to bring some positivity here because vibes and all that. But no, I do think that this event has been the best event we've had in a long time for a lot of different
Easily,
reasons.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
What I would say is based on my limited time, because I've already stated that I'm taking a limited approach until we get some major things. Like the overhaul is a big
Yes.
thing I'm looking forward to. But I made sure to check out the event and see what was going on, of course. But aesthetically, the battle pass and all that sort of stuff, everything looks good, and it's actually solid stuff this time. It doesn't seem as random.
Yeah,
So,
it's nothing is
essentially-
just drenched underwater.
Yeah, the aesthetic for this, it has some really good stuff to be seen here, but the gameplay and the aesthetic are two different things. If you don't have them together, then what do you got, type of thing. That's what we're mostly talking about here, is the gameplay issues compared to what we have in these events, because that's what it all is about. We have this aesthetic aspect when it comes to the events.
Well, this game nowadays, all it is events. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
and I think they're doing a better job of making the events feel a little more natural in between the transitions, because a lot of it is, especially the event pacts, it feels a lot more streamlined now that you don't have to revisit the wagons. You just grab
And
your
go.
packs,
That was a nice feature.
and then
yeah.
and then you have all of those extra, what the hell are
With
they
boons
called?
and
Just
stuff.
points. Just
Yes.
the points
for
and
the
then
pledges. Yeah.
the pledges, yeah, the pledge points, and then they added that whole new section with the ammo box and
I
the
love
Right.
the
master
pledge
clue.
system.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's a
seal
really good
system
one.
is so
it
good.
feels like an event.
Remember, I swear, I don't know who said it on the podcast, but we said something in the middle of the map would be a great idea, and something like a Mr. Sherry, doing a trading post or
I
something.
believe that was Tyler.
And lo and
That-
behold,
no,
Tyler, it was
that
before
was-
came
I
out.
might
no,
argue it was me.
No, that was actually Colin. You're all wrong. That was
shit.
Colin.
Well, I
well,
said
we
I
all talked
believe.
about it.
I didn't say it for
Well,
sure.
I think we built upon each other, but if it was Colin, great idea.
No, but I
Yeah.
specifically remember it started because he mentioned that he wanted negative traits, and then that's where it all began. And then we were talking about Mr. Cherry.
See, the
Yeah.
first time I saw that central everything sealed thing with a whole there's a clue and a master clue and a bounty and everything, I was like, somebody really likes Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And I'm all about it. It makes the slow people lose more. Haha!
For
Well, I-
real.
Bags.
Well, I think we're moving in a positive direction with this, because one of the biggest points of Hunt has always been an incentive to cause a fight. And the bounty
Yeah.
tokens weren't doing that. I mean, fucking
Mhm.
Rotjaw definitely was not doing that. Unfortunately, we love her because she's the whole
Princess.
reason for our intro. Fun
She
fact.
was the afterthought fight.
Yeah, and she's the
Yeah.
drawing that our Sir Kaiser drew up. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you very much.
well, and I think that the center thing with all of the things inside should stay past the event, because that causes more fights, and that's exactly what this game needs.
Oh, I
Or
love
you
it.
play
Yeah,
like
they need faster fighting. Not ridiculously fast, but I'm tired of I gotta wait for this guy to necro himself.
Well, I mean, I was saying, I came up with a whole system to just negate the whole issue with the solo self res and everything. But
do you
people
really
don't
have
seem
to have
like it.
Do you really need to have a system to do something like that though? That's
Oh no,
ridiculous.
it's like a possible gameplay change.
No,
Like
in my
a
opinion,
fix that they could implement.
all they really need to do is just make it a separate trait, and then make it
Like
a
a-
burn trait.
I can.
So you can only do
that
it
would be
once.
good.
Yeah, but you
That
should
is
be
a
able
good
to.
idea.
If that's the case, I think you should be able to buy it. As much as I hate Necro, you should be able to
Well,
at least buy the burns.
A buyable burn
That's
trait.
that's
you
why
only-
it's a buyable burn trait that you can get for fucking shit. I'll even take 2 or 3.
I would think
Okay,
3
you
would
could
be
take
more
it-
That would
balanced.
be. It's so easy to buy traits then, still, because you could literally be given trait points just based on certain things.
Yeah, but you got to think
you
of
know
how
how
expensive it would
how
be.
Mr.
Yeah, but you could
Shared
also
or whatever
literally
the bounty thing is, it gives you like trait points, and if you're able to just buy the burn trait, then I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
It sounds too
the,
easy.
the thing
To me.
is, it's already that easy though.
Yeah,
All
it
you have to do is
literally
buy
already is.
necro. You
Yeah.
get it at like level 1 or something nowadays.
So
It
the
could
other
be
thing
one of
though
those
is
pickup traits.
so all burn traits you only have 3 of them. So if you spend 9 trait points to max out that, you can't pick up your other burn traits. So it also balance out not being able to have those as well.
Fair. Well, and one thing that I really, really love that they did is where they nerfed the amount of fucking traits that the hunters got. I mean, it's still kind of ridiculous what we see people enter the bayou with,
Dude,
but it's
speaking
better.
on that, I'm not joking. I have about 7 free hunters. All 7 of them have what's that? Quartermaster. All 7 of them have Quartermaster in a row. The
I
only
do
other
think-
thing that I've gotten off of my free is fucking fanning and levering. So I don't know what the fuck their trait possibilities are, but I've only gotten 3 of them out of the entire time.
Well, it's kind of like the way I think of this is the way a lot of people thought about like hell, I can't remember that game mode from League of Legends, Earth. It's kind of like having Earth all the time, 24/7. It's one of the most fun ways to play Hunt because you can bring the most shit. You always have a lot of money and you've got all these great traits. But it's kind of wearing me down. I kind of miss how methodical you had to be, how the Springfield really was the king of single shots because everybody wanted to bring a budget loadout. And now it's just like, why the fuck would I bring that? I have a Mosin, you know? And
Got no budgets.
there's no
Yeah,
budgeting because
and they're free.
everybody's got money. Everybody's got amazing traits. And it's not that you can't bring it, but you're at a severe disadvantage, especially in higher elos if you do that. And so it kind of kills something that was really special in Hunt for me. Not that it's bad, but I miss it.
You
I don't know.
used to have to really think through your loadout, and now that aspect, if you really liked building your loadout, seems to be a little bit more gone. You
I
just
used
have
to look
access
at-
to whatever you like playing.
Well, I used
It's
to really
just
look at my
overcrowded.
I used to really look at my traits and be like, yeah, maybe I will take a crossbow because I have bolt thrower. I'm like, I'll just fucking get rid of that, and I'm taking a levering Winnie, baby. Who cares?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
It takes the thought out of it. Yeah, I agree.
I definitely think it's still fun, but I do think it's a bit more brain dead in some aspects. But speaking of
Fair
brain
point.
dead, that freaking new pump action rifle is pretty gosh darn good, especially since our main man Colin was playing with it all day today in the shooting range. How are you feeling about it, Colin?
Colin?
Uh-oh, he's dead. Well,
He
Element,
died.
since you're also here,
I mean,
He
I
got
can
killed.
throw it in. I've been using
You
it
heard
all
it
day
here
today.
first, folks. Colin
you know what?
is
Did I
dead.
ask you? I'm just kidding. How you
No,
feeling?
you didn't, because you didn't realize I've been playing today.
You don't
Well,
play.
Well,
I've been at
considering
work.
I did say I was hopping in today, so
How are we feeling about the pump action rifle, guys?
It's good.
I love
It's
it so
fun.
much.
it's
It
good.
definitely
It's
does
solid.
have its downsides though, so it's
It does.
I feel
What's
like
the
it's
downsides?
balanced enough.
I feel
For
like
once, I
it's
don't
balanced
feel like
kinda all
ADS is the only way to play.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Aaron?
Honestly, honest to God, that gun is completely necessary to have Iron Eye on, and it is the only gun I've ever felt that way with.
I would agree because when I saw the trailer for that gun, the first thing I noticed is, my God, it does not keep up when you aim down sights.
Yeah, if you ADS without fucking Iron Eye, you take like an extra full second or two just to pump action and then re-ADS. So with Iron Eye, it cuts out all of that extra action, and it makes it so much smoother, and you get its actual fire rate. Dude, that gun is a monster. It may be small ammo, but holy shit, was that wrecking everything for me today.
Well, it's got
Nah,
a
man,
huge magazine. Oh, go ahead, Red.
I was gonna say, nah, man, fuck Iron Eye. I hip
Well-
fire that shit because of how small the crosshair is.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was
That's a
gonna
good
say.
point. I didn't think
It's
about that.
so accurate at hip fire,
Yeah, but I like my
and it
headshots.
fires quick as fuck.
I like aiming
It
and
really
getting a
does.
headshot across the compound. So.
Well,
I
and it's
like
got-
hip firing and getting a headshot across a compound.
Well, it's got FMJ and it's got a huge magazine size, man. It's
Yeah, it is
exactly like
massive.
the regular Winnie, and it's got a Swift variant, so reloading is
ammo
not a
pool on
problem.
it. Ammo pool is nuts on the gun, dude. I brought that and a Nagant officer most of the day today. And I believe your ammo pool's like 44, 45.
Jeez.
Well,
Which
and
is the biggest I've seen since they made the ammo pool changes.
it's kind of sad because I feel like the Mako is a really, really solid rifle, but it's definitely not a crowd favorite because it's got the problem that the Berthier has, or Berthier, however people pronounce that, is it's just it's not quite good enough to pass a Mosin or a LaBelle. It's just not. It's realistically, I was impressed by the damage being better than the Krag, the fire rate being almost identical to a Krag in some ways. But levering is completely irrelevant on long ammo. I'm sorry, I get it. It's
Lies!
It's situational.
Lies!
Have you seen the bloom on that rat? You're crazy.
No,
I
no,
have
no,
a
no, no.
chance to use
Okay,
the
okay.
rat.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Uppercut with explosive, Mako with explosive, fanning, and levering.
So
I'll
a
be
meme
honest.
loadout.
I'm
Yes.
gonna be honest, no, the Mako with explosive is actually the nastiest fucking thing. That
It's
thing
so good!
destroyed me today.
Actually, yeah, no, we ran into that today. That's the exact loadout. Uppercut
Yeah,
with
you just-
explosive, Mako with explosive.
You just fucking carpet bomb the entire fucking compound. Like you're like, I don't want anything to live in that general direction, and then you just fucking lever away.
Yeah, that was
Oh my
nuts.
god, it made my nipples rock hard.
We oh my god, we ended up winning that fight, but barely. Like,
Yeah, like literally barely.
How fun, but I don't know.
That's a very unique loadout. That would make it.
yeah, it's very niche.
Situational.
It's only niche if you don't want to carpet bomb and love explosions.
You're also
playing
gonna have to
Helldivers
remember.
As
Oh,
much as I love the uppercut with explosive, that thing is not viable. It's more
No.
funny than anything.
Yeah,
Like I
It's-
just love shooting them, and then all of a sudden, and they're like, "Ah!"
I love taking an uppercut with explosive and then just fanning it into a room when I see somebody open up a door, because almost every time I fire off 3 rounds and get a kill.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
I'd
start
say
using it
that's
that way.
that's extremely situational, but
Yeah.
Very much so, yeah. But
I
it's still
will say-
funny.
Glad you're having fun though.
I am
Yeah.
glad that explosive got a buff to its headshot range, which it absolutely deserved because
It
I don't.
Absolutely.
It
It
did not
definitely
deserve
does.
full meme status. I mean, it's not fucking Starshell for God's sake, and it shouldn't be treated as such.
My favorite
Uh-huh.
war crime is finally somewhat viable.
Well,
It's
and
your favorite, huh?
speaking
Oh
of
yeah,
fanning,
explosive ammo has been a war crime since 1960 or 1865.
well,
No, I'm just
speaking
saying if
of,
it's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
That means there's
Speaking
other
of
ones you
war crime.
like.
fanning, there is an unintended nerf that seemed to have happened that people have found that the Scottfield unfortunately seems to have an unintended nerf with its fanning, and the speed is slower on it. I don't know if it's stuck around. It might have been hot fixed, but that was something somebody addressed, and I hope that that's fixed.
I think that's a little bit of a cup half empty way of looking at it. What I'd say is the packs got a buff.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my
with that.
god!
Yeah, but
I
if
agree
you,
with that.
Don't do no.
if you blow other people's candles out to make yours look brighter, is yours really brighter? No.
I mean, yeah, because theirs is out.
Yeah, there's
That was a
kind of-
beautiful way of putting
That's
it. No, screw
relative.
you.
I'm saying in general, like if you're
yeah.
objectively looking at the single candle.
If
Well,
a
I mean,
tree
yeah,
it's also-
falls in the
because
it
woods,
lowers
everybody
the
else's
standards,
candle
so
is no
now-
longer making light.
Yeah, you lower the standard, so now yours shines brighter than theirs.
if a tree
What I'm
falls
saying
in the
is that's
woods
not a
and
good
nobody's
thing.
there to hear it, does,
I
does it
think
make
it's
a
better
sound?
instead of buffing something to an outrageous pace, like making it shoot faster. If you nerf something that shoots a little bit slower, look, now the other one is more viable. Whereas Scottfield has how many other options?
In a lot of cases, I actually would agree with that. I'm just being a dick. So
I was just trying to make a sarcastic comment. I wasn't expecting a full conversation.
Yeah,
I was
well-
actually, if you didn't say it, I was about to say it about the packs.
yeah, I'm a
What are we
PAX
talking
fanboy.
about?
So
Who are you?
I'm
Where
a
am
PAX
I?
fanboy.
What's going on?
I love the PAX, and
What?
it does deserve
Who?
more love.
Who are you people and where's my horse?
Well, and the
Uh,
blueprint also has an unintended bug. I just want to bring attention to these before we move on too far. Because it apparently accidentally unlocks consumables that are supposed to be later on in your bloodline. Which,
Oh snap!
Does
I
it?
didn't know that.
Basically,
Well-
like the old way.
well-
It's because they changed the way that
Well-
all the consumables are earned now. Now it's all bloodline instead of
Well-
usage.
people don't
Right.
want that though because they want the ones that are
Nobody
harder to
did.
earn, like the guns you have to use. And
Yeah.
then because you just unlock consumables through the bloodline normally, and then it'll sometimes give duplicates, like it'll double give the same thing, like incendiary on whatever gun, even though you unlocked it, thus removing one of your unlocks. So
Yeah,
that's kind of BS.
This isn't even allegedly. I already had the frag bomb unlocked. I picked up a blueprint and it gave me 2 instances of a frag bomb unlock.
That's so stupid.
That's funny.
It's just because you had everything else unlocked. They're like, I don't know what to give you. 2 frag bombs.
I had so much shit not unlocked.
Probably.
I didn't use the Mosin at all, that prestige.
Damn.
That's just heresy.
Well, and there is also a bug with the traps when you place a trap, like a concertina wire, and if you hold the fire button while you're placing them, I guess your gun will accidentally also go off. Be careful.
But I think we're overlooking the most important bug of this entire update. You can now pet the beetle.
I know.
You can pet your beetles, folks.
That is
So-
that is real.
Pet your beetles. Pet them
Petting-
left. Pet them right. Pet
Petting
them
your
front
beetle
to
sounds like
back.
a euphemism
That
for
That really
little-
does.
Little
No.
tiny
If you-
heads.
We don't need to talk
Give
about
them
Beetles,
nice
beetles are
snuggles
cute.
and
Let's keep it
lovin's.
wholesome.
Yeah,
Wholesome
beetles
only.
are cute. Yeah, Mr. Microwave,
You
Mr.
tap
Refrigerator, and Mr.
tap their little fuzzy head.
Toaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, toaster.
Yeah, it was
You
toaster,
guys-
microwave, and refrigerator.
You guys just gave me the questionnaire for this episode. I'm definitely asking people what
Touch
they
your
name their
beetles?
beetles. No.
Oh, there you go.
Fuck. Don't touch your beetles that way. The beetles didn't do anything to deserve
Wait,
that.
no.
You gotta
I-
pet them.
I want to hear
man.
what's your poll question?
What are
I'm
people
going to
naming
ask
their
our
beetles?
listeners what they name their beetles.
Good. That's a great
Good
idea.
question. That's awesome.
Probably shouldn't
Thomas,
say
Jeffrey,
mine.
and Carl.
Wow. All right. Well, with the other pacts too, I'm actually really wanting Death Pacts to stay a permanent one because I think that the fact that we don't see dead bodies of hunters with a trait is ridiculous. People have asked that for so long. Please, for the love of God, do not keep lawful. I don't think its balancing will last. And
No,
oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say no. Like I use it, but because I know it's only temporary. So
I
Right.
say just like keep the effect, but just roll the witness perk into
Keep
ghoul.
Keep the
Like, don't
conditional.
don't keep the healing, but like make ghoul because it's already about dead bodies. Also show you dead bodies.
Well, I like the conditional because receiving ammo from looting a dead hunter should have already been a thing. I don't know why it never was. Because people could loot their guns anyway. Because if he has medium ammo too. All right, I'm gonna take his gun for a second and loot all his ammo. Taking it off their body was just a given. I think that's excellent.
Oh yeah, I was just talking about witness, like from the Death Pact. Just roll it into ghoul. It's already about dead bodies.
Well, and
Ghoul's
roll.
more about killing stuff, so
Well, it does kind of make sense though. See,
I think more like Vulture maybe, because that one is more about dead bodies. But that would be
I like
more
that.
like the ammo one.
I
So
like
it's
that
like a give and take.
that's
You got a
excellent.
point.
Yeah.
You got a point.
Well, and I think that the burning fucking health bar to revive your teammate is just an overall terrible idea. Leave it to the bounty token so that there's an actual incentive behind keeping a bounty token and not just rezzing their teammates after hiding in a bush when the other team's left. As a matter of fact, Colin did that with me when we had a really, really eager team to fucking like run me down and then burn me. He just waited them out and then came and res me.
Yep.
I don't think that should be. I think that should be punished. I don't think you should be rewarded for waiting.
I mean, I think that revives should be limited to a 3 life system anyway. Like, regardless of your health bar setup, just completely separate it. So the health bar is just how you prefer to have your health bars situated. And the revives, like, your first life is the one you go in with. You go down, you can get up one more time. If you go down again, you're allowed to get up a second time. But if you die, then you can't get up again unless they've got the bounty.
Right.
Just make it 3 lives across the board, because that way it makes it so that solo necro can only go up 2 times as well.
Well, and the system with everybody respecing their health bars. I especially don't like that everybody's just basically taking all small bars all the time, especially if you're solo, because you
Oops,
want
all
5
small bars.
And I get that, especially solos need some kind of advantage, even though they get camped to fucking death, literally. But everybody was complaining
Their
like, "Oh,
fault.
don't automatically have like the health bars set. Just let us set the health bars. Just take the extra step, man. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Plus, I thought it should have. In my humble opinion, I would get absolutely freaking burned at the stake for this. I think it should have never changed from 3 big health bars, but that's just me. But on the other stuff in here, we also have the very lazy, already the same totem things for event points, which from the last event, and we're wondering if there's even a lore reason behind that, or why the spine
They're-
altar is back. I don't get it.
They're both called
it's-
It said it
Desolation.
was residual.
Yeah,
It was residual.
It's just so dumb.
Yeah.
Recycle one of the older, cooler ones. Don't bring
So-
that crap back.
I think the idea is that, like I said, it's just them. They've already had this plan, so stuff was already made, and this was just the next thing in the plan. So they're just pumping it out. So
If
I
it
don't
gives
think it was because they had any reason. Just another event, then we do the engine upgrade or something like that.
that's fair. If
Yeah,
they
I
give
think they were putting more effort into the engine upgrade than they were the look of the event stuff.
well, that's kind of what I was gonna say. If it's getting the right amount of work into the right resources, all the power to them. It just felt weird. Hell, I would even take just a plain wooden like T cross or something in place of that. It was just so weird to see it again. But I also want to give some love, since people have probably wondered why we haven't mentioned it directly. But the Plague Doctor skins themselves coming back in full style with their own custom gun, a poison trip mine, which was beautiful, and everything about that whole pack. I am rare to buy one of those huge blood bond packs, but that was one of the few I actually did buy. They did an
Well, the
excellent job.
coolest part was that it was blood bonds. That's the coolest part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since you can realistically wait for a discount. But if there's one thing I could say for their level 50 skin, no offense, Centipede, I don't think you're the worst looking skin ever. But the fact that the Redneck's daughter was 10 times the popularity of the Centipede.
It's because of the
It's
aggressive
telling.
ash scratch.
It is. She should have been the level 50, man. What the
Well, it's
hell?
also because like the redneck is such a character too, though.
He is, and then his daughter only added to the fun of it, realistically. But
She
I
wants
just
you to watch her scratch her ass. You can't convince me otherwise.
Well, she's just gonna do. She probably just doesn't even think about it.
No, she does, because she looks at you and then scratches harder.
she doesn't think
It's
about much at
intimidation.
all. She's a redneck.
Yeah, that's an
That's what I'm saying.
intimidation tactic.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
That's a
She's just
mind game.
literally just doing things. She's a real animal, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and one of the kind of underdogs of the whole event that I really think people have underestimated is the rival getting the fire rounds, the dragon's breath, holy shit. That thing will just melt your health bars. I don't know.
haven't really
people-
seen it much in my games.
I haven't seen it much, but my god, I've used it a handful of times and it
Just wait a
fucking
few weeks.
obliterates. It obliterates their health bars because its follow-up shot is so fast. I can only imagine if they gave well, they probably will now. They'll probably give the crown fire rounds too. They might as well they might as well give all of the
Maybe you
good
shouldn't
rounds to the
finish your
crown.
thought.
Well, I remember we were saying they were going to give high velocity rounds on something. It was the drilling.
Gonna happen.
And I mark my fucking words, we're going to see it, and that is absolutely not
Oh,
something
yeah,
It
we
doesn't
do.
deserve it.
No,
we'll
it does
only
not.
see it after they give the sparks bleed ammo.
Well, if they give the sparks
Maybe.
bleed, this game's population is going to sink because nobody's going to stay in this game when sparks is bleed. You might as well remove the aperture sights from the fucking nitro too while you're at it.
Dude,
Why don't we?
Sparks, if that gets bleed, if that ever gets bleed, that's an insta kill. Everyone's gonna quit this game.
Oh yeah, It's
Exactly.
just another Nitro, but with better aim.
Yeah, and longer range, realistically,
Yeah,
because
and a sniper variant.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck, I forgot.
You didn't even think about that part.
I didn't.
Or
I
or
didn't.
pistol variant, like
Oh man, the pistol bleed. They would just bring two fucking sparks with bleed. That'd be so
Did you just say a
cancer.
pistol nitro?
yeah, so that's
No,
what it would be.
A pistol. Well,
I'm all about it. Even though it's totally like physically possible.
It is. I've seen like 3 700 nitro pistols.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah, we're talking about
Christ.
a time that is like the 1890s though, so
Bro, they got an Optimat.
different.
What's
You
funny
know.
is
Point.
they don't even use the right gun in the game. I mean, but the
Well,
fact
they
that
don't-
but the fact that that fucking thing can even exist is just a nightmare on its own.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know how the hell that the bolts would realistically re-rack with that mechanism. But then again, the Romero Alamo, I mean, it's just a little spring-loaded system off on the side of the shotgun. But that was already one of those. It's cooler to me than any modern gun with the chambering system they currently have, which is way more practical. I don't know. There's something about primitive technology that's just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But real quick, I want to get into our audience because we're getting later in the show and we never forget about all of you.
You want to
And-
do what to our audience?
Give them all
Let's
a
forget about them.
Get all up in
solid
there.
pat on the back, maybe a kiss on the lips. I don't know if they're into that. Moving on. So we're going to start with Rat's bonus episode, the Conspiracy Corner. We couldn't fit it into our half episode, but I'm hoping you guys listened to it. It was an interesting theory nonetheless. But nobody had any theories of their own. But genius or madness? Somebody thought Rat was a genius, and I really hope you come forward. You'd stroke his ego more than you know. You'd make that man very
please
happy.
do. I'm already like
we
Feeling
can keep
really
that one
good
under the
about
wraps.
We-
I'm sorry,
we
but
gotta stop the nipples, you know.
Oh my
We gotta
god.
stop them.
never.
But on our HAP episode, a reoccurring person to always comment on our episodes, Mr. Rogue. What is the worst place he hates to fight in? And then the rest of you just didn't want to tell us because you didn't want to tell us, where to run to win a fight against you guys. But Rogue, I don't really like fighting in Lumberyard. If the Bayou needs a hero to stop this crisis, I shall rally, my brothers. This event will mark the start of our cleansing. It's an honor, Bard. Happy hunting. Well, happy hunting to you too, buddy. But Lumberyard's fucking god awful. I can attest to that. I hate that map.
I've had some good fights there, but yeah.
I actually enjoy that map. It's a lot of fun.
I'm like a 60% enjoyment, 40% I absolutely hate it.
I'm a
It's
touch go
mostly-
on that as well.
I mostly feel that my enemies are always placed like they just piss me off the way they choose to hide in that fucking map. Specifically in the boss lair that's closest to all the log piles. Because the upstairs, downstairs, the logging
Yeah.
room, that fucking place is a nightmare and it's Camp Central. Hate it. so much.
It's so much fun to go in there with a bow, though. Just I'm a salt-powered robot, so it just pisses people off when you kill them with a bow from around the corner.
Oh yeah. And the MMR ranges that you guys are most consistently in, I was actually very shocked to see that we had any 3 stars, but the fact that you
Ouch.
guys are honest with yourselves, it's good to see you guys. I mean, I had been floating around there for quite some time because I've been sucking at this game, so don't even feel bad.
I love
4
you, my
star.
children.
The patron saint is here to comfort you. And realistically, most of you are 4 stars. That was no surprise whatsoever. And then there's 5-star people that listen to us. Well, did you regress back to 4 stars? Because that's probably what happens when you listen to us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's only if we don't
Stars.
share the brain cell.
We're all stars in my eyes.
There's a reason
Aw.
I keep Rat at 3-star. I stole his star.
He did.
Well,
The
give
bastard.
it back.
How can you be a patron then?
And give me back my brain cell too. Like we only have the one.
Oh, I
between
sold
us.
that one.
God damn it.
I
To
needed
me.
to pay rent.
To me.
But how are we feeling about the consistent events overall? Because I listened to a video just recently about a guy who was talking about where it's actually one of the most positive things happening to Hunt because he's keeping the most change involved. I kind of want to agree, but I also feel like it's too often for me to want to participate. And where he said, you don't have to buy the premium skins. Sure, but FOMO is an evil thing to do to your customers in the first place, and events are the king of that. Whether or not you can grind through it fast, making people feel obligated to play with busy lives, especially with skins they don't want to miss. It just...
Yeah.
Well said. Well
I
said.
mean, here's where I'm at with it. I think it would be better. Like I noticed that this event is only 2 months long, as opposed to 3 like every other one.
And then they made the challenges way harder.
I'm already more than halfway through the battle pass. Like it hasn't been an issue.
No, I'm just
Uh,
saying that the weeklies to get
He
like the
did.
750 points, they made
They're
them
worth
way
more.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
But
did hit
the,
the nail on
I'm
the head there.
ridiculous.
I think it works better having the 2 months to 1 month of regular hunt as long as they're like wanting to keep this 3-month cycle so that we don't feel overly burned out on the events.
Right. Right.
Well, I do think
I'm
the
s-
experiment... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was just going to say I'm still of the opinion that you need more adaptability with the maps. You know, something to change it more. There's
I
just
wish
not
more-
enough variety. And the events, like, I really don't want them every 3 months, or I want like a month or 2 in between, if I'm being honest. It's too much to focus on aesthetics alone
Well,
in the battle pass.
I wish a lot of the gameplay changes and a lot of the experimentation came kind of like with the boss health bars being more they're less susceptible to melee damage. That was needed for I don't know how goddamn long, especially with my whole rants on the katana and how fast you can eliminate a boss. Now you need a trait, so it's hard to argue too much on the subject because Berserker is now needed to kill bosses that quickly. But I also kind of wish that we were seeing more happen with the PvE because people are literally starting to ignore it. There's people that are literally like, I wish it didn't exist, which is bullshit.
Do
That's
you-
what
Yeah.
Do you remember when we first started this game and
Do you
PvE was
remember?
was
The scariest
terrible-
fucking
the
thing
scariest
ever?
thing, and you had to get used to it? That is something I miss. I don't like being so comfortable about it.
I
and
agree.
that's saying something.
I think
will
that
say,
like
though- oh.
more enemy variants and like a full rework on the bosses so they all felt more distinct would be really
I'm sticking
nice.
with my map theory.
What were you saying, Element?
I would say I prefer the events system of the rotation like it is because when a game sits in a normal state for too long, just like Tarkov, your player base dies to a point that you can't keep them. The way people are nowadays, you can't
Yeah.
keep a consistent player base if
I'd
you
say
don't
that's
have
also true,
constant
yeah.
changes. Because
I
everyone's
can
like,
agree
oh,
with
if
that.
when I get so used to this game, I play it for 500 hours and it's only changed maybe 200 of those hours, people are like, oh, I can go play a different game. I can go constantly enjoy something else. Whereas, because it starts to feel like the fights over and over again, the same things happen, same guns every match. So it's more of a development choice that will keep a consistent player base throughout a full year. Yes, you might lose some here and there for a couple weeks. You might lose some for a month. But it keeps a consistent, hey, we have a player base to keep our game alive.
And
Yeah,
that's
but
oh, go ahead.
I also like I do agree with that, but I do agree also with we do have busy lives. We don't feel like we need to constantly be getting on.
100% on that,
We've got other games and stuff to play too. Like, you know what I mean? And all games are doing this system where you have to get on. You have to get on. So it's like
Yep.
you're not getting anything done
And
in any of your games now. And
what's
I just
nice
don't want
is-
Hunt to be part of that problem.
I just want them to do what Halo Infinite did and make it to where all battle passes you can
And
just
Halo-
grind at any point in time on your own pace.
No one's
Yeah,
ever
and
gonna
Halo's
do that.
not
You mean
Halo's
like
not alone.
Helldivers?
No, that's not true. Because all these other ones are starting to do that where it's not you don't have to miss out. It's more like DLC. You just pay like a battle pass. They're making it so you don't do that. And the FOMO aspect of these other games are stopping that.
Well-
The good ones, in my opinion.
Good ones, yeah.
Even
to be
if
honest,
go ahead, Eric.
what other games? Because I literally Halo's the only one I know that does that.
I mean,
Helldivers.
what Helldivers literally has war bonds that they're making it so you can keep buying.
Well, and
I haven't played Helldivers, so I don't know about that one.
Come
Yeah, that's
spread
just to name one of them.
democracy with me, brother.
even if we had a system where you spent like 700 extra blood bonds to re-unlock an old battle pass
Yeah.
that you still have to grind through, you still have
Agreed.
to earn it.
Yeah,
know,
that's it.
They could easily monetize it in a way,
Mhm.
and this elitism of I was there, I ground for it, I get it. I don't agree with that.
This
I
is
never, even
Fortnite
being
as
the
well.
person. Well, and I hate to just praise the game that I've been playing, but Warframe, it's guaranteed that its content's going to recycle. You will get another chance. We know you have a busy life. Just come back next year when this one's unvaulted. Like, why can't more games just follow that kind of motto? Because with Hunt, they tend to wait so long to announce things, and it just bothers so many people. Is this coming? Oh, we don't know yet. We're just the representatives for Crytek. Why don't
Their
you know?
teasers
Why
are
is the
weird.
information?
They're
It's
bad
so
about teasers. We know that.
they're terrible
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, they
Just-
need a different marketing team or something, or get
Just-
better or something.
Don't tease your player base. Just have a straightforward answer. Have a very
Mhm.
obvious roadmap, especially where we know that the engine
Mhm.
upgrade's coming, and we're all excited.
The teases are all the details and the battle passes and things like that. That's
Well,
where the fun comes, you know.
I mean, honestly, if I think that it would be good if they did. I mean, to bring up Helldivers again, if they were gonna, if they're insisting on keeping the teasers and like all that, why not make it so that like the world is interesting enough that people want to know more about it, so that when they start adding more shit that you're not expecting, like in Helldivers' case, the flying bugs, like that they start adding shit and people get excited about it. Or, for the pacts, have it be a passive pact system where you select it at the beginning of the quote unquote season, and it does nothing except for like you now have three teams or three groups of players all competing against each other to have the highest score at the end of the season. Like, do something like that gets people behind their part of that game. I think Baldur in Hunt Lowdown, he brought it up a few times, kind of like Magic the Gathering when they did the faction city. Like they've all got their own factions, and if you ask any Magic player what's your faction, they'll tell you. Like, I'm Boros, I'm Ragnos. Like they know their faction and they'll rally that flag. Like, get
Right.
people involved in the lore or get people involved in the story or the world enough, and you won't
I'm
even really
telling
have
you.
to worry about trying to do a battle or a road map because you can just be like, "Hey guys, something big's coming. What do you think's gonna happen?" Or like have the factions actually influence the story as it goes along. Like whoever had the most points at the end of that season, that faction won that part of the story, so they're the ones that get to make the big move in the next
Well,
event story wise.
Well, like I said, ever-changing maps. You're going to have lore in there. You're going to have different things that happen, and you're just going to cycle through those little variations on those maps. We're not talking about big map overhaul. We're talking about little stuff that you can kind
Little
of change and
variations.
add.
Kind of like
Little
the fire.
A little bit deeper, though. A little bit
Okay.
more.
Like
little
if
bit
the
more
fire
Kinda like
left
the
the
fire,
trees
yeah.
scorched afterward, or
I
like
will
took
say
away
I
all
love the
vegetation.
fire because it actually did remove parts of the map. It made it you run different
Yeah,
directions.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
Crytek, so when they added the fire, they added the best thing they ever did in Hunt for like a long time, and then they just took it away. Dicks.
Yep.
There must be
Yeah,
a
they
good
left the
plan.
rain. They left the rain and they left the ash bloom, but they don't want to leave fire in. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like imagine if after the event was over with all the fire, all of the trees no longer had leaves or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they were all
think they
scorched,
don't-
so now there's less cover. The bushes aren't there.
I think they don't want to get into one of those things where they like mess with the map, and then once they've messed with it, it's no longer like viable and they can never go back. Kind of like Call of Duty Warzone did, and then
Oh,
everyone's
God.
like, "Bring Verdansk back" or some crap, and I'm like, whatever.
Speaking of the
I'm not a
heavy rain,
Warzone player.
well, speaking of the heavy rain, they did nerf the amount of time that the heavy rain occurs,
Half.
I did
which
notice that.
actually, it's
Yeah.
half as long.
and the ash bloom active time was also more rare, so that's good. But I do agree. If any of the kind of types were to go, I think it should have been Ash Bloom. That really should have been an event unique one that comes back. I don't hate it. But the fire was so interesting. It provided a lot of unique lighting on the map. It also
And it looked cool. It sounded scary. Like
Now,
it was
yeah,
just
kind of
great.
ruined some PCs, but that's
Well,
some
Getting
minor
into fights
issues.
in the
Actually,
middle of the fire was
arguable.
great.
Arguable. I had a really bad PC before, and it ran pretty good.
Yeah,
I
Red
know
the Fire
some
just
people
fine.
some people that I know had a little bit of issues with it just when they got too close.
Makes sense.
Well, yeah, if you get too close to fire, you're gonna get burned. Jesus.
Just like your PC.
Yeah.
Just like your PC. Yep.
Well, and also the beetle got an increased view distance. The antidote, what I guess I kind of
Oh.
understand, but it got nerfed, and I'm a little torn on that one. I don't think that was the most overpowered shot. I thought it was fine, but
To counter argue that, I kind of wish it was normal, but at the same time, I'm fine with the nerf. They just need to take out the poison enemy hunters in the challenge pool, then, if that's the case, because I feel like that's why they nerfed it. Because, I can't poison people. Then it's like, well, then just take it out. That's a dumb challenge, anyways. Like,
Or
Yeah.
don't make it 6 fucking people you need to poison.
yeah,
too.
what the
That's true,
hell?
too.
They get
Or you
one or
could just
two.
do-
I'm
just-
sorry.
Just
This
change it to
challenge
damage with
change.
poison ammo, because that way you're doing
Which
damage.
was
with
there!
poison ammo in
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it doesn't have
Or-
to make them poison, just poison ammo. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
for
poison damage. Yeah.
give Mithridatus a fucking reason to exist. Make it so that the antidote shot only cuts the time in half. Mithridatus only cuts the time in half, but together they do neutralize poison. I mean, that would be a
That's
pretty
good.
heavy nerf, but Mithridatus has no fucking reason to exist really anyway, especially now.
Also,
So-
please, for the love of God, put Poison Sight into the Mithridatus perk. Just
Yeah.
mix the two together.
Yeah. Since we're so keen on mixing them, I didn't think about that, but that's perfect.
Just like you did with Dewclaw and fucking 100
Yeah.
Hands.
Yeah, and you should also do that with Adrenaline and Determination, because Adrenaline's fucking useless. Who the hell is like,
I'd
I have
argue
one
the
trait point?
Determination is useless. Or no, yeah, you're right. Adrenaline, the low health.
Yeah,
Got the
yeah.
two mixed up for a second. You're right. I'm wrong.
Okay. I was gonna say, because Determination comes in clutch when your stamina shot runs out, and I just find it so strange. Especially, I think they had a shot planned and it didn't take. They didn't show it, but it was teased, and it was supposed to be like it. Did they ever actually release any information on that? Because it was supposed to make it so that your hunter didn't burn or something. Which, why the hell would you do that when Salve Skin exists?
They planned it for a while, but that was what they wound up using for the Infernal Pact, and everybody hated it so much that they couldn't burn people out that they just did away with it.
Well, thank God, because if you're gonna take away a damage type to yourself, make it so that it's a coagulating shot for your blood, so you don't bleed, because bleed is the most toxic shit in the game.
And also, don't combine no bleed and no burn onto one pact, and then just make it so that everybody has antidote shots, so that they can't take any effect damage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They might have learned their lesson. Who knows?
It's absurd what happened there, and I'm reading also in the notes that the Cyclone. I'm gonna touch on this in the next episode because we're realistically gonna be balls deep in the same event, but the Cyclone got a buff. I mean, I'm happy, but I don't think it needed it. I think the reload time's fine, but the decreased recoil is a fucking mystery to me.
I think they released it, and it was all the hype right away, but then I haven't seen one person use it in over a month.
Same.
Never see anybody use it.
The only people I've seen
I
use
just-
it is Bard.
The
I don't
only
even
reason
see
I
it
don't
federally anymore.
is I would use it, but I prestige. That's it.
I get
were we
that,
saying,
but it's
Richard?
just like
Sorry, go ahead, Dylan.
I was done there.
Okay. What's up, Richard?
Well, I was just gonna say that I mean, isn't it like $400 or something, $100 or something like that?
It's like 5, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty fucking steep. But it's also an excellent weapon. It's just too
It
steep
is.
of a price tag. Whereas something
well-
like the drilling really justifies it because of that underslung shotgun.
$535.
Yeah, it's an absurdly high price.
Well, I guess that's also what another like thing you could say is oversaturation of weapons, because it kind of got forgotten in such a great pool of weapons that came out. Or wasn't that the same with the baseball bat? Like it came out with the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
the
I will
drilling
still
Something
take the baseball bat over
overshadowed
the katana every
everything.
fucking time.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems is what you were saying. Oversaturation is definitely occurring, and that's exactly why I said more gameplay changes with like the PvE.
Yep.
I feel like
Mhm.
that's where our attention really needs to go, because we're getting so involved in needing new guns and we need our new toys that we're forgetting about what really makes a good game. And because eventually we're going to get the comments about why would I ever use this when I use this, because the only reason the Springfield's not irrelevant is because it's still a really quick reload, but it's still really rare to see a Springfield, and it's only a matter of time before they accidentally add a medium ammo that's going to make Springfield a fucking relic. You know?
I mean, Sparks already overshadows it. So,
Well, that's a long
You
ammo.
take
though.
that back right now.
but still, it's like it's basically barely more expensive, and it's a more viable weapon. That's
I mean,
kind of
well,
didn't
yeah,
the Sparks do
in
that
the
to the
meta.
Martini? Like,
Yeah, in the meta, yeah.
But,
Well, not
Yeah.
exactly, because the Martini has an insane reload, just like the Springfield. The Martini is the long ammo Springfield in a sense.
But it has the
Sure.
bullet velocity of a thrown rock.
yeah.
Well, it's realistic to real life, and I don't disagree, but
And the
I still
accuracy feels like a musket. The thing does not hit where it should.
You're a
Well-
Maybe you just suck with the martini. I love
damn.
that.
Let's not throw shade here,
I'm
fellas.
just
do.
kidding.
I will.
Yeah,
openly
me too.
admit this.
Yeah,
While
me
we're
too,
on the
man.
topic, since we brought up the katana and the baseball bat,
You
all
brought up
2-slot
katana.
melee weapons are 1-slot now.
That is true.
That's true. It's
Wait,
just
that's
I-
interesting.
I didn't bring that up mostly because, I mean, my opinion keeps changing more and more from that. I think the katana being a 1-slot's a mistake, but the hammer and axe should have been a
Yeah.
1-slot from the beginning.
The
Yes,
katana,
agreed.
because it has almost the same reach as the bomb lance when you sheath
It has
attack,
more. It has more.
It should be a 3-slot.
It's the katana should be a 3-slot.
Yeah, it should be in the same
Okay, I
slot
wouldn't go
level
that
as the
far.
bomb lance.
I would not go that far.
I
When
would-
you're
With that
forced to
amount of
take-
reach, With that amount of reach, it should be in the
Q-spot
same
was
class
perfect.
as the bomb lance.
You forget
You
the
don't have
bomb
no
lance has
range.
ammo.
Yeah.
True, but I mean, the whole reason I use it is the reach for the melee.
You are a special case rat.
It's just, I definitely think 2 slot is justified, in my humble opinion, because the bomb lance
Yeah.
definitely overshadows, but for a reason. It takes up a full gun slot, right?
Yeah.
But it acts like a full gun in certain circumstances. It's not a meme if you use it correctly, which, I mean, almost nobody does, but that's fine. But
It's a lance first and a gun second. I will die on this hill.
well, that's exactly the point. But the fact that it has such excellent ammo, steel ball, is because
Taste
that
my
thing
balls.
deserves it.
Well, the hills were taken eventually.
Well, and we're gonna start wrapping up here because we've got a lot more that we're gonna realistically kind of summarize in the following episode for the event that we're still all going to be in because we're all on that grind, fellas.
Can I make
And
one small rant real quick?
absolutely, I was about to ask final thoughts.
I think for Stillwater and I'm
Lawson.
blanking on Lawson. The center point for the maps are great, but DeSaulles is absolutely awful. So whoever thought to put it there needs to get fired
Oh shit!
because
Oh.
it is
Well, it's closer to one of the corners, isn't it?
it is perfectly surrounded by water, has a tower right above it, and can have 2 POIs look at it.
I
Is that
actually really
where we-
enjoy
Is that
going
where
to
we fought, Aaron and Richard? Is that where we were today?
Are you
When we
talking about
when we
like
wiped the
where
whole lobby?
We were in the center of the map.
Yeah, the center of the map. That's something I wanted to actually touch up on is those like center of the map sections. I feel like we've engaged more people because those exist now though.
That's the reason they
Yeah,
wanted
it actually
to.
worked. It was awesome.
It actually worked, yeah. And I was like, because we were pinched in the middle today, I was like, wow, this is it was kind of cool.
That's kind of our fault that we got pinched, but we ended up on top. We wiped the entire lobby, and they were all focused on us.
Somehow.
I will
Good
say,
fight though, really fun fight.
what I did read in the patch notes. Please stop nerfing Lightfoot. I don't think you need to kill something that's dying that hard.
They got nerfed again.
Don't make it irrelevant, please.
Yeah,
you're gonna make Bard cry. Crytek.
like the flash bomb. Just take it out of the game at that point. Like,
Well,
I
because
want the flash bomb. I want the flash bomb to come back.
I
They made
actually I like taking the flash bomb because nobody expects it anymore, and it's hilarious.
There
when I
you
get flashed
go.
and don't know what to do.
You have
I
to
just
cook
There you
it
go.
for 5 minutes though. And be
The
like,
quiet-
all right, where's my
hey,
timer?
yeah, you gotta stroke it. You gotta like tap it.
Yeah,
you gotta like
once-
whisper its
Bop
first
it.
and first name into it, and then
Yeah,
like
once you
tell
throw it
it
in
it's
3 to 5
social.
business days.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like I play a full game of Bop It when I try
Unless
and use
you
a
have-
flash bomb.
Unless you have Amazon Prime, maybe they'll come a little faster.
I just think that taking away the quiet crouching through audio traps was a terrible idea because you're gonna incentivize people just sitting in a corner even more. I thought the point of this game and the changes you were making was to incentivize fighting and incentivize people rushing in, not take away from those who prefer a stealthier option with the same thing. It just doesn't make sense to me,
Yeah, because
especially-
now it just promotes more toxic behavior. So
yeah,
I
Yeah,
think at
you-
least like the jump and everything, I'm okay with them making it to where it doesn't make any it makes noise now. But
That
it
was
makes
justified.
it makes the exact same noise. I feel like 75% noise is made would be better.
I actually don't mind the latest nerf because it's just if you slow walk crouch through chains, the chains make the slow walk crouch sound
Well-
instead of like no sound at all,
well,
which is
that
more realistic.
And the glass, it still makes that
Oh,
light
we're
crunch.
talking about realism when I've heard an argument talking about it's gothic, whatever, yada yada yada. Ain't I right, Mr. Rat Boy?
It is. I'm saying, as far as sound design goes, they pride themselves on the sound design for this
That
game.
is true. That is
If they're
true.
wanting to go for the sound design being realistic, that makes more sense.
That is
when
true.
when I said realism, it was more that like we fight zombies in this game, and we're talking about a gun taking you out of the like
I don't know.
suspension of
Nothing about that.
disbelief.
Yes,
I don't know.
because
No.
we are talking about zombies being in that era, so we want the realism of the guns of that era showing up,
And so I
while
want
also having the
unrealistic sound
fantasy
design.
of zombies in that era. We don't
I
want to
want-
detract from that.
Unrealistic sound design as well. I want superpowers if I'm going to go with that.
No, we want zombies in the Old West. That's all we want. We don't want to detract too far from that. That was
Well, that's
my
what I was
argument.
talking about with the Lightfoot.
I'm just
is
giving you shit,
basically-
Bart.
Okay. Well, we're wrapping up here. Does anybody have any final thoughts at all?
Fuck these new
Um,
challenges.
I just
haven't
want to
seen
say, this is a good event. There's a lot of problems, but overall, I think
I will say
it's
best
better.
event. I haven't seen any headsmen since this event started.
I've seen three. I've seen three, and they are so much easier to see now.
Oh
I've
my
seen
God,
a
it's
bunch,
better
and
skin.
that's always my teammate.
I will completely disagree with you all. Light the Shadow was amazing. I loved Light the Shadow.
I
But
don't
not
remember
everybody
that
was.
one.
It was
I wasn't
good.
here for that one.
It was good. I agree.
It's
That
an
was
What
when
was
I
that
OC
one?
started to get into it. That was when I started to really get into this game. Yep.
Yeah, nothing will beat that event for me, especially since it was fun.
What
I'm
is
just
that
glad
event? I'm-
headsman has been good.
That event was with the natives and when the bow was introduced.
Yeah, that's
And
what
it
I
was
wasn't
like
playing.
Throwing axes. And
Yeah.
you choose
That was
between
the
two when you
one.
started.
That was the one event I didn't play because I got so fucking angry about the event right before that.
Yeah.
You missed
Man,
a good
that sounds
time.
like a you problem.
True.
Yep.
I
I got a free hunter off that event. It was awesome.
Yeah, the third son, probably. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Really good
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah, because he's Tonto now, according to whatever we call him. All right. We're going to wrap it up right there. But obviously, there's going to be more discussion about this event overall. Maybe we'll even talk about highlights, lowlights, if we have any.
Shelf lights.
Don't forget to tell us what you name your Beatles. I'm extremely interested to hear you guys out. But thank you all so
Marathon,
much.
Go Burr.
Marathon, go Burr. Mako too. If you bring levering, you'll miss, but it goes Burr.
Not with explosive.
Thank you
Still
all
miss.
so much for listening to this episode. And as always, Tyler, take us away.
Stay hunting.
Stay hunting, everybody. Give your
Only
good
if you
advice.
feel. Only if you feel like.
Yeah,
it.
don't burn yourself out like me.
Yeah.
Love
can
you,
take a
bye.
break, Okay.
Element, you promised you'd say goodbye.
I love y'all. Thanks for having me here.